I'll tell you, their size. That backyard is like 10 miles. Giant blades of grass, huge insects. It's a jungle out there.
They're gonna head right for the house.
Yeah, you're probably right. Just gotta keep our eyes open.
Hey guys, it's the Large Marge Sent Us podcast, the podcast where two sweeties talk about their favorite childhood movies and do weird things with their tongues. I'm Sweetie.
And I'm Sweetie.
And today we are talking about, I keep wanting to say, don't tell mom, I Shrunk the Kids.
We didn't already film that one and then messed it up at all.
All right.
No.
This one is
Called
Honey,
I
Shrunk
the Kids.
What magical year was this movie filmed or released in?
Get ready, everyone. Huge shocker. 1989. Ah! You know what? If I end up writing a book about 80s movies, it's going to be called 1989, The Golden Age of 80s Cinema by Emily K. Dumas.
Featuring such American classics as Teen Witch, Little Monsters, The Wizard, and everybody's favorite, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Wow. Yeah. Love this movie. So clever in its concept. You know, I bitch all the time about how there's not a lot of original screenplays and stuff being made. This has originality written all over it. It's so clever.
We say that and then watch it it'll be like, this was based on the short story by James blah 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 because
I didn't see anything about that, but yeah, it is adorable. It stars one of my favorite actors, Rick Moranis,
who reminds us of our father because, well, I mean, really just because of the glasses thing.
I don't know. I think he has a very similar nose to our dad. He looks just very similar to me to him.
Dad?
To Dad, yeah.
Dad, are you Rick? Rick?
Okay. Rick.
Yeah, we love him. We're sad that he has since retired from acting, so we don't get to see him anymore. But he's still doing great things. I think he's doing music now. And he just wanted to spend time with his family. His wife passed away, so he made a decision, and that was
a lovely Nerdist podcast featuring him, and yeah, he was doing like a Jewish comedy record or something, wasn't it? Something like that.
Or was it banjo or like
No,
bluegrass?
It
was like a bluegrass thing.
Anyway, it was really good.
You're
it was like
a Jewish thing.
I'm not Jewish. I wish I was. Yeah, it was a couple years ago, so look that up on the Nerdist if you're interested to see what Rick Moranis has been up to. Not any other like big stars came out of this one. You know, it really was. I mean, they were all in like random like sitcoms and stuff like that. But, obviously, except Jared Rushton, our favorite from Big, Overboard, this movie, and am I missing one?
That's it. That's all I can remember.
Yeah, so he's pretty funny in this, per usual. Yeah, so I think we should just get into the story as it is slightly complicated. We'll try to keep it slim and trim for you all. But we're just going to get into the Sweetie synopsis. Yeah!
Sweeties! Wayne Zielinski is an inventor. He has crazy ideas. His house is filled with crazy inventions. Well, not crazy. They're pretty useful. Like the phone thing, or the thing they press the button that says like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then it goes up and flashes on the screen.
Tell him in his attic is the workshop.
Yep.
And he's always like working on stuff that's loud.
So yeah, there's that. But the big thing he's working on right now is the shrinking machine, which will Make it so size is no longer relative, and the machine shrinks things down, and it's going to be a giant thing. It can be used at NASA and make them a lot of money.
Sounds like he quit his job to pursue this dream. Mm-hmm. So the family's hurting a little bit financially, it sounds like. The mom is a real estate agent, and they live in this kind of adorable little house in like adorable little neighborhood. Sycamore Lane, I believe it is called.
644 Sycamore Lane. Yes. Next door is the family by the name of the Thompsons. Russell Thompson and kin are about to embark on a camping trip, and they're taking with them a microwave, TV dinners, water skis. Was it the weird thing that we saw? Golf clubs.
Do you think that's supposed to be a joke in the movie that like they're so overpacking? They have like a giant Winnebago and they're like packing for literally like 500 hours.
That's why it's taking them 500 hours because they have so much stuff. So it's pretty funny. Ronald, the youngest Thompson, is restless. He's playing with his baseball and baseball bat, hits a baseball through the attic window, which lands on the shrinking machine. Unbeknownst to them, they go up to the attic to recover it, and the machine is working suddenly, and it shrinks them. Bye-bye. Amy, so it shrinks him and the youngest, Zelensky, Nikki, and then Amy, his sister, and then Ron's brother, Russell Jr., go up after them to see what happened to them, and they get shrunk too. Big dilemma.
What to do. So now they are all reduced to 1/4 of an inch tall, and the dad comes home and they try to alert him, but they're obviously too small. He can't hear them. And he had a bad day at the conference when he was trying to like roll out his new shrinking machine. Nobody believed him because he didn't have any evidence. Like, hello. And so he comes back and he destroys his machine. And in the process, all these parts get thrown on the ground, and then he has to pick them all up. So he picks up the kids and literally takes them out with the trash. The kids are now stuck at the end of the backyard and need to now get from where they are to the house, which is 3.26 miles away, you find out, which, not going to lie, when I was little, I thought it was like 20 miles because it takes them like 2 days to get there. And I realize they're small, but like 3 miles is 3 miles.
3 miles is chump change. It's
I walk
nothing.
that day.
Yeah. I walk that every day. Like, fuck that shit.
I mean, maybe it's like when it's like hiking, it does take a little bit longer, not like urban city walking like we do, but still 3 miles would not take you like 2 days, people. Get with it. I mean, obviously they run into some obstacles. So that is the entire movie. Them having to deal with being 1/4 inch tall and do things that normally wouldn't bother you as a human. For instance,
like an ant, sprinkler, lawnmower, bees, lots of stuff. Yeah. Eventually they hitch a ride with the dog, get into the house, almost get eaten. Nicky almost gets eaten by his father with his morning Cheerios. The dog bites him on the leg. He spots him. He says, "It's the kids. I found them." And they take him back up. They figure out the baseball was the key to the whole thing, and they bring the kids back to normal size. All is well. The families are friends, and Amy and Russell are like together forever, lovers in paradise.
As I like to say, there's nothing like a little bit of shrinkage to get your family together.
Shrink kids?
Shrink kids? Shrinkage?
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. Shrink kids? Shrunk kids?
No, so telling you I shrunk the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, shrunk kids. Well, I did a thing that said some like grammatically correct club that like reviews titles of movies said that was wrong. Shrunk would not be the right word to use there.
Great.
Just
so grammatically
anyway,
punks.
Anyway, I would like to talk about the major themes of this movie.
Okay.
As I saw them played out. Ready?
Go for it.
My first one is everyone's favorite, Bad Dad.
Bad Dad.
Bad Dad.
It's the Bad Dad's
I had
Club.
another song I'll play.
Damn it. Okay. Sorry.
He's a bad dad and he'll never be any good. He's a bad dad and he never says what he should just because he wants you to play football, but you don't want to. That's the reason why you shouldn't go on the camping trip.
What song is that?
He's a rebel. The original song? He's a rebel and he'll never be any good. It's like a 50s doo-wop song from Sweatin' to the Oldies.
Oh. It's great. Good job.
Not a good song.
Great. Good job.
I worked on that a little bit before I sat down for this
Nice.
podcast.
How about, because he's a bad dad.
You know he's bad.
He's bad. You know it. Really bad.
Okay. So anyway, bad dad theme. You know, I feel like we covered it a couple times. Bad relationship with your dad. It's pretty easy. In this one, it's really Rick Moranis isn't a bad dad. He just like doesn't have time for the kids, but he's actually, I think, a good dad. The bad dad is Russell Sr., who is pretty much a dick. He's a jerk in this. Not only to his kids, but to his wife. He kind of like his, I don't know, kind of like, what do they call that kind of husband? Like, oh, May, shut up.
Speaking to the part where he tells his friend as a lie that May has plumbing issues and can't go on the camping trip.
My husband was telling people I had diarrhea. If that's why we couldn't go on a camping trip, I'd be fucking pissed. But the main thing is, so Russell, the younger one, is like kind of a scrawny like kid. He's probably like, I don't know, sophomore in high school or something. No.
Oh, Russell Jr.?
Little Russ. Little Russ.
the younger one,
No, not Ron. Little Russ. And his dad was like a big high school football player. So of course he wants Russ to play football. And Russ is too small, and he also doesn't really like it. So he quits the team, but tells his mom, or tells. Did he tell his mom he got cut, but really he quit because he hates it. And they just like, they don't get along because they just don't have anything in common. So, and the dad is just a dick to him, and it just doesn't go over well. So in the beginning, they're kind of in a fight, and then this whole ordeal makes them realize, like, I love you the way you are, son. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you don't have to play football. So that was really nice. The bad dad got fixed.
Yep. As they often do.
Yeah.
Yep. Bad dad. Check.
Bad.
What's next?
Sibling love.
These are common themes or okay. Sibling love. Yeah, Nikki and Amy actually have a very sweet relationship. Sure, they have their brother and sister bickers, the Bickersons, but really, they love each other.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think the age difference is there?
Well, she's Russell Jr.'s age.
Yeah.
He's like
Call
around
him Little Russ. I like that.
Little Russ, especially in these because they're real small. He's a teeny tiny Russell. Yeah, Little Russ and Amy. Sorry.
So let's say they're 16, and Nikki's what, like 10 maybe?
Yeah. Right.
But he's like really little.
Yeah.
Like sweet.
But he's so sweet.
And he like kind of gets the brunt of all like the bad stuff that happens to the kid. It's like one thing after another. So like he falls into a plant, he's allergic to pollen, and then a bee comes.
Does anything bad happen to anybody else?
Well,
I don't
Amy
think so.
almost drowned.
Oh, true.
But then Nikki also almost gets chopped up first by the lawnmower. He almost gets eaten in the Cheerios. I mean, really, it was like 4-1. Nothing really happens to the Thompsons kids, really.
Fuck them.
It's kinda
What
fucked
the
up.
hell? It's all their fault. They hit the
Well, it's not
baseball.
like another
thing.
movie where like, oh my god, like so much shit happens to people like with this one character. I forget what that movie that was. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. But yeah, so cute sibling love, and I feel like the boys have sort of a little bit more like, well, like
Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, a more like regular like sibling relationship, and they were brothers too, so that was just like their dynamic. I think. Like I think if we were lost in the wilderness, we'd be really sweet too.
Well, really sweet normally. That's nothing would
That's what I'm
change.
saying. No. But like they were just
We'd
like
probably getting a ton of fights. We'd be like, I'm gonna walk over here in this big grass, and you can't follow me. Look out for that bee! I told you, watch out for that bee. That's what our voices would sound like because they're so tiny.
That would be cute. I don't know if I have any more themes. Oh, I do. Sad dead animal theme. Sad dead animals.
People, if there's an animal in the movie, it's gonna die. Yeah. Pretty much true in every movie except Homeward Bound. Spoiler alert: the dogs don't die; they make it. You think they die, and then Shadow just like limps over the horizon. It's a great scene. But enough about that. In this, the ants they adopt as their own, who they originally just are using because they're too lazy to walk 3.2 miles to the house. Like, if we get on the ant, we'll be there so fast. Like, yeah, you know what? How else you get there fast if you fucking walked and like a normal person and got there on time? But no,
PETA would be pissed.
Who's PETA?
Protection Animal. What does PETA stand for?
I was like, PETA Malark?
PETA stand for?
I don't know. Prevention, ethical treatment of animals, something. I don't think that was the right P word, but yeah. So they get Andy. At first, they're scared of him. Then they quickly realize he's a sweet creature. He's just a baby ant. So they hitch a ride, and then they try to part ways with him, but Andy just loves them so much he follows them. And then, at nighttime, right? Mm-hmm. A scorpion comes.
Yeah, I don't know where they live, but like, whoa. Are those scorpions and lawns like that? It was like bright red. It looked like a lobster. Weird. Ooh. Actually, are scorpions in the same families as lobsters?
Crustaceans? No, I think they're technically arachnids.
They have 8 legs?
No, you don't need 8 legs to be an arachnid.
You don't?
Look it up.
Where's Nikki when you need him?
Maybe Carol knows.
So yeah. The scorpion comes and Auntie saves the day, but in the process gets a big old scorpion claw in one of his body parts and then dies a very actually quick death. But it's very upsetting, and I did not understand. I was like, fuck this movie. Because why? There's no reason why that animal had to die. To have one sad part. Why do you need a sad part in this?
Well, how else were they going to part ways with Auntie?
He
would have been sucked up the lawnmower, and then he would have had a worse death, I guess.
My thought was, I hope this turned them all into Buddhists, and they didn't squash ants or bugs anymore because they saw it from that side.
It did make me wonder, as I was sweeping up the floor, were there any small people that I swept up by accident? I'm not sure. I'm always cautious today, just in case. But yeah, very sad.
But for me as a little child, number 2 animal death, only almost like I want to fast forward it because it was kind of sad, but very close, but not quite. Usurping Artek's Swamp of Sadness.
Swamp of Sadness? Anti-sadness.
Yeah.
Lots of sad.
R.I.P. Auntie. Love you. Miss you.
Love you.
Mean it.
Yeah, good one.
Do you have any more themes you want to bring up?
No. I don't do themes.
I'll theme you.
Theme your mother. Let's talk about favorite parts.
Sure.
And I'll go. My favorite part is... What is it? Let's see here. My favorite part is... I'm not sure. I don't know if I have one. It's all... Okay. So here's the thing. No, I mean, I like it all, but I can't think of a part where I'm like, I can't wait for that to happen because everything's so treacherous and upsetting to me. I mean, the oatmeal cookie, that's fun, but then and then Auntie's there, and then it's over.
Well, I was going to say the pattern of this movie is yay, they're okay, or yay, this is fun, and it's tragedy, something horrible happens, and then intersect that with going into what the parents are dealing with. So we don't really talk about that part, but the parents are obviously freaking out. They call the cops, oh, our kids are missing for a couple hours. I'm pretty sure that's not the rule with missing children. Isn't it a day, 24 hours or something? Mm-hmm. Not maybe little kids is different, but yeah. Anyways, so once the dad, Wayne Slinsky, realizes they're on the lawn, he concocts all these contraptions so they don't have to walk on the lawn. So there's all that comedy involving that. Yeah, so that's intersected with the kids going through all these trials and tribulations of being a quarter-inch tall. Favorite part? Well, I like to laugh at all the parts where the girl flips out. So she loves to yell her brother's name all of the time. And like we just said, Nicky gets all into these horrible situations. He's the one who most has all these things come after him, or he gets stuck on the bee. And the sister Amy's Nicky! And she just yells it in this certain way every time. And I was starting to make little tally marks of how she did it. Oh my God. So there's this part right before the kids get separated and they finally come together when there's the sprinkler system's on. So there's all this rain coming down or whatever. And there's all the pools of water in the lawn are these gross muddy pools, and the water is really thick and nasty. So as soon as she sees him and she's on a blade of grass or something that's over this, what is this gross mud lake, and this raindrop falls right on, almost on her, so she falls into the pond, but right before she goes, Nicky, because she sees her brother, and then falls into the gross muddy lake. I guess can't swim, ? Too thick with mud, I don't know. And then Russ has to save her, and Russ becomes the hero in this, which is great because in the beginning you think he's like a big weenie because his dad's like, oh, you're on the football team, like lift some weights, be a cool kid, like blah blah blah. So go Russ. He really was the hero in this movie.
Just want to point out like how lucky it was that they fell off the bee and were like not that far away from them, because Nikki and little Russell were stuck on the bee, and then they just like, I mean, they could have gone anywhere on that bee, anywhere.
Yeah. They could have been like, 100 miles away.
Luck was on their side in this movie. Let's just recount some of the lucky moments. So like the bee incident, lucky. The fact that they get swept into the garbage bag or whatever and don't like die by getting crushed by something bigger, that's a miracle. Even the simple fact that they are facing towards the house in the garbage bag, they could have been on the completely other side of the garbage bag facing the street and not have known that they were like not that far away from their yard. The lawnmower turns off at just the right moment, like split second before they would have gotten all sliced up.
You could easily turn this into a horror movie with like all the stuff that's going to happen. I mean, maybe there could have been even more kids, and then it could have been like, and then there were one. Like only one. It makes it like a Survivor. Could be kind of a cool movie. Sure. Gonna rewrite it.
Sure.
Let's talk a little bit about when we went to the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playground in Disney World.
I don't remember a ton because I feel like you were too old to like play on it, and I was too scared. So I think I slid down like one blade of grass, and I was like, "Yay!" And then that was it.
Is that when you had that like little page, like cute little page boy haircut?
No, I had a ponytail.
Oh, you did? Because I remember the video, and I have like that giant white scrunchie I was wearing my hair, and my hair was so long it was like past my butt, almost like the back of my knees. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So that's in MGM, and if you've ever seen oh no,
Did they get rid of it?
well, it is like an old movie now. Kids now would be like, "What the fuck is this?" Though it is pretty cool. But they like, so if you've ever seen like how they made this movie, so they made all these obviously like big sets and everything, like giant size for the kids to like play in, and they filmed it all on, and then they kind of used that idea and made like a whole playground of it. So you like slide down blades of grass. There's big Lego. There's like a fake oatmeal cookie. Would have been cool if it was real.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really neat. Good question. Is it still there? And like, what does Disney do when movies just get too old? And you're like, well, like kids now, they're going to know what this is.
Oh, yeah. They definitely get rid of stuff. There was a big hubbub? Didn't they get rid of like Back to the Future or something recently? And there was a big uproar.
What?
Maybe they were going
those
to.
Are like classics.
They got rid of Jaws.
Yeah.
So
Universal Studios though.
yeah, but same thing. Like,
God, that's depressing. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to relive my childhood? Good thing we have this podcast.
Fuck that shit. You didn't even go on that. Jaws. It was broken when we went, and I was like, "Thank the Lord Jesus Christ!" I would never get on that ride if you paid me like $5 billion.
Yes. We all know you have a fear of things jumping out of the water. La di da. La di da di dee. La di da di da.
Thank you. So one thing that always grossed me out about this movie was how like gross and hairy everything is up close, and when it's big, like even the blades of grass are hairy. The bee's hairy, obviously it's an insect. Antes hairy, scorpion hairy, blades of grass hairy.
Let's remake what you said about the ant's hairy face.
No, that's inappropriate. I'm not talking about.
This is an explicit podcast. Sweetie, what did you say it looked like?
All right, they're feeding the ant the crumb of the oatmeal, and it gets like sucked into this like gross hairy mass. It looks like we're feeding it to Vagine, and that's what happened. And I got very upset after I said it, but it was true. I'm speaking the truth, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not going to apologize.
Hey, it's a good observation. This is the whole point of this podcast, to rewatch stuff and be like, what does this look like now? To us kids, you like didn't know what. Well, I don't know. You might have looked what a vagina looks like. I hope you did. Hoped you didn't. I mean, what other things confused you, or what we like to call on this podcast, sweetie confusion? Yeah,
I'm so confused. So just the main thing was that plumbing incident. So the Russell Thompson's friends come to get them for the camping trip, and he has to make up a lie of why they can't go. Really, the kids are missing, but he doesn't want to tell them that, even though that's a pretty genuine reason for not going on the camping trip.
That made no sense.
My kids are missing.
Idiot.
Instead,
Clueless.
he tells his friend, May, his wife, May's got some plumbing issues. And his friend's like, plumbing issues? He's like, that doesn't sound like the Russell I know. Any plumbing issues wouldn't scare him away from the camping trip of the world or whatever.
Yeah, but like, fuck, who cares about Russell? Like, he doesn't have the plumbing issues. Like, why would that scare him away?
Right. It makes no sense. So when we were little, we had no idea what that meant. I literally thought like he was saying that a pipe burst in their house and they couldn't go.
Now that's a good reason.
Still a better reason.
I forgot that about that line at all until we watched it. And when he before he made up that excuse, I thought he was going to say women's problems.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless that's what. No, I'm pretty sure plumbing means diarrhea.
Yes, right?
Look it up.
Yeah.
Carol? Mom, do you know? But yeah, that was very confusing. I think that was the only confusing part.
Are you sure you weren't confused by the French kissing part?
Oh. It was pretty obvious to me, maybe, but I'm not. Oh, you were?
I'm so confused.
You were confused about that?
I think so. I was like, wait a minute. But that's CPR. You don't use your tongue.
True. And Russell didn't even do it right.
And why would you be practicing French kissing in French class?
It's dumb. It's a dumb joke, Russell. This just furthers my point that Russell Jr., a.k.a. Little Russell, is the least appealing love interest of all time. Why? No, you don't. You were like, okay, this is a reenactment of what happened when Little Russell's face came on the screen. Sweetie goes, ugh. I don't think you think he's sweet.
I might have said he looked like a very weird-looking dude, but that's all I said. He's like weird bags under his eyes, and he's just so like he looks like a. You know what he looks like? Gloria, the gopher from Under the Umbrella Tree. Right?
Totally. That's weird.
A nostalgic
That's
reference,
weird.
but it belongs on this podcast.
It's true. But why is he the least appealing love interest? Well, I'll tell you. Number one, he's a peeping Tom. He he stares at Amy dancing in the kitchen, and then tells her about it later, like an idiot. He's like, "You like to dance, huh?" She's like, "How'd you know that? Were you watching me?" He's like, "No." Yes, you were. Creepy Russell, you were.
He's so awkward.
Reason number two. Panic Peter, in the beginning, he flips out every 2 seconds. It's pretty funny. He's like, yeah.
Well, he is responsible for my favorite line of the entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
The only one I quote on a weekly basis from this fine gem of a film. So when the sprinkler is going, there's like I said, these huge water droplets, and the kids have to hide. So he's with Nikki, and they're running around, and they see some little block structure or something like that. I don't know what they find to go into. So he go and he's the whole movie he just is ordering the kids around all the time. So in this particular scene, he's like, "Get in there!" And then I guess the rain was actually falling right in there. So then he goes literally one beat later, "Get out of there!" So whatever. I don't know, walking around. I can't even give a concrete example, but I'll just be to Sweetie, "Get in there! Get out of there!" So dumb. But he does become the hero, and he's very sweet. I think he was just an awkward, who isn't awkward at 16? Just kind of scrawny. I mean, Amy's supposed to be the cool person in this, and the cool high schooler with a date with Paul Bradley, and she always goes to the mall to hang out, and she wears pink clothes and a pink polo shirt. I don't know. She really bothers me. I'm not a huge fan of that girl.
Hated her. You were so upset. She was always like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss the mall. I'm gonna miss the mall." It was a thing that would go away. That would just be gone the next day. I'm like, Amy, it's the fucking mall. It'll still be there the next day.
There was some mall culture. We just did not grow up in one. We went to the mall twice a year if we were lucky. I mean, it was a half hour away. I mean, maybe more than that, but we were not kids who hung out at the mall.
Boondocks. We didn't get out to the mall too often.
Well, that's true. But also, it was not a thing where our parents would be like, "Okay, drop you off at the mall," and you'd hang out with your friends there. It was just too far away. Our parents were going to pick us up a half hour away.
I think you're forgetting about the time that we were at the food court and that guy threw a note in our shopping bag with his number in it. So we hung out at the mall sometimes.
That's exactly why we didn't hang out at the mall. We were Christmas shopping.
Creepers. Yeah, but the mall is a weird thing. And then later when the kids are missing, the mom's like, "I'm going to check the mall." And we were just imagining her going to the mall being like, "Kids? Amy? Nick? Are you here?" "Hey. Yeah, so that was a funny moment.
I like to call it
Mall Madness. Like that game.
Good game.
Good game. Wait, was that the one where you had the credit card?
Yes. So cool.
I confuse it sometimes with Girl Talk.
With the zits.
Also with Shop to Drop, which was a game show,
Oh, yeah, that's
which is pretty dumb.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was no supermarket sweep, but I mean, I was just saying. So yeah, that's what I have to say about Little Russell. That's the end of that segment called Little Russell Sucks. Yeah.
I think it's time for some trivia.
Okay.
Trivia. Do I have a trivia song yet?
No.
Oh.
Not yet.
We'll have to make that one up.
Okay.
I don't have it. Okay, so original title for this movie, The Teeny Weenies. Unfortunately, they X'd that out. They thought it would read too much like a kid movie, when really, like, yeah, this is a kid movie, but it's not. They didn't want like just kids to see it, because it really is a good adult kid mix. Stuff the kids will like, stuff the parents will laugh at. Yeah, so Ixnay on The Teeny Weenie. I don't know if this fact is true, because you never know with IMDb and like people like writing bullshit in there just to like fuck people. Oops, I mean fuck up people. That was weird. Could not use that swear correctly for some reason. So it was a rumor that originally there were supposed to be 5 kids, and that one of them died during the sprinkler scene, which is like crazy if you think about it. How would they have would they just have left the body there? Would they have carried the little tiny body all the way back and have been like, oh, sorry, Mom and Dad, we lost one? Like, so weird. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if that's true. And then my last little bit is that a couple of other people were slated to play the Rick Moranis role, and those were Chevy Chase. Can't see it. John Candy or Martin Short. I could see Martin Short maybe.
Well, it's funny when I was watching this, the other dad, Russell Senior, I thought was like a poor man's Jim Carrey in some ways, and I was like, oh, if they redid this, like he would probably be the dad, because I think he was maybe too young at this time. When was Earth Girls Are Easy?
Probably 89, maybe 87.
Oh,
Yeah.
So maybe he was too young. But yeah, he totally reminded me of him. But that's funny. Yeah, I mean, nobody has that like short, cute, like,
well, you have to be like nerdy.
yeah, nerdy look about them.
Yeah,
Like
like,
Rick
it could
Moranis
never be
is
John
the guy.
Candy.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Like, he doesn't read as nerdy. Martin Short, definitely. I feel like those guys like were vying for similar roles at one point in their career. But yeah, good stuff. Those all very funny men, but it went to Rick Moranis, thank God, because he's fucking crazy, and his such cute little facial expressions. He really just acts with that face. And it's just really, really good.
Which are also accentuated by my other favorite part of this movie is the sound cues are so magnificent. There's the part in the attic when he's like slowly figuring out where the kids are, and he's like looking, he sees the little couch and the chair, and he's like, oh God, the kids must be here too. So he's looking on the floor, and then he's like looking, and then he like sees, as soon as he looks at the broom, there's like this huge like pipe organ, like which is the broom of doom sound, I like to call it. But that happens a lot throughout the movie, like when the lawnmower's on, like that sound happens. Like, it's just really brilliant comedic timing with the sound that I value quite a bit.
Yeah, good. James Horner was the composer of this, which I had to tell Andre very sadly that I think it was this year that he died in a plane crash. He was like a pilot and he crashed his own little plane. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was him. Poor buddy. But what?
I was just seeing if your other earring was on still.
Oh, I took them both off. Sorry, I lost an earring earlier today, people.
Oh, you found it?
Big tragedy of the day. No, it's gone forever. What? Yay!
You sure that's not the one?
I don't know. Wow.
We'll figure it out.
Maybe there's little kids on the ground that got shrunk and they found it for me.
Desmond was playing with it this whole time.
Yas. Anything else from you? I have one more thing to bring up that might...
That's all I got.
I have some questions for you.
Okay.
So, I feel like this is a great film, however, suffers from what I like to call abusive sequels. I think they sequeled the shit out of this, and it was not a good idea because I think it cheapened the franchise, if you will. What do you feel about the sequel Honey, I blew up the baby.
First of all, very violent title. Really not a movie about terrorism. Actually is about a movie about making the kid gigantic. So this little toddler was like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man style, like.
Do you remember what happened in that? Like, what happened in the machine and why the baby... I mean, doesn't he have, like, a lab or something in the second one? The baby, like, crawls into something.
Yeah, he gets, like, in the beam.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a great idea to bring your child to the lab.
But remember, Carrie Russell is in it? She's, like, the babysitter. And
Honestly, I've seen it, like, one time.
Wait, and I remember the end because, like, the baby is, like, really tired and cranky, so it starts, like, destroying things, and the only thing that, like, comes is the mom comes, and it's like, it's okay, honey, and, like, lulls him to sleep. Yeah. So I just remember that. And then the sequel to that, which was only released, it was either a TV movie or just released straight to video. Honey, we shrunk ourselves? Like, what? End it.
I vaguely remember that, and there's like this weird part where they need like potassium and they eat a banana, and that's how I learned that bananas have a lot of potassium. There's also like they're on like a little match car and they like drive the match car somewhere. That's all I remember. There's another one too I noticed on Netflix, like a dumb one. Like, honey, we shrunk ourselves again. We shrunk the kids again, or like even smaller. Now the germs. I don't know.
It just angers me so much. It's like, I was just saying how great it is when there's an original story and how great that first one was. And then they just spit it out again. And it's just, why ruin stuff? Like, make another fun story. Don't just take that one. The sequels stink, people. Except for Wayne's World 2. That's a really good film.
Also Gremlins 2. Not too shabby. Also, Look Who's Talking To. We love it. We really only hate sequels we didn't like. So
Also, Addams Family Values.
Right. So, I mean, we're the authority here. Yeah. Like, we'll tell you if a sequel's good. No one else will.
Why do you think we're doing this podcast, people?
We know everything all the time. Do you have other questions for me that you want to ask me? Like, my favorite color, favorite song? It's okay.
No.
One question? That's all I got?
I don't have any questions
You were
for
like,
you.
I have some questions for you.
Yeah, it was all related to the abuse of sequels.
Oh, fine.
You don't have any questions for me? I always ask you questions. You never ask me.
Oh my god. Okay. Who would you rather fuck?
The little kids, though.
How do you know I'm going to ask about the little kids?
Oh, okay.
Would you rather be married to Wayne Szalinski or Russell Thompson?
No brainer. You already waxed on about how much I thought Russell Thompson was a big old deek. So I'm going for Wayne Szalinski all the way. Right back at you, brother.
He's so sweet.
Yeah, so sweet. I feel like we'd have a good time. I mean, he's probably shorter than me, but that's okay. I can deal with it. Yeah, he could blow up things for me and shrink them and do that stuff.
Whose fault do you think is everything when it comes down to it? Like, you know, like Chris's mom in Adventures in Babysitting, everything was obviously her fault. Whose fault is it in this film? Be careful with your answer. Think about it before you talk.
I mean, the easy answer is Ron with the baseball.
Is it? Or is it his good work that gets the machine finally working and saves the day
Wow, you're right.
in his in Wayne Szalinski's career?
Well, it's a very silver lining way of looking at it, and that's,
yes, that's
very nice. But really, it's his fault. But
Actually,
you know what? Wait.
sorry.
Wait.
No.
Wait.
Okay. Go.
If the damn family had camp the night before instead of literally spending all morning and afternoon packing their stupid camper, then maybe he wouldn't have to play by himself with the baseball, and then he wouldn't have hit it through the window.
Or if little Russell agreed to play with him, he wouldn't have either also had to play by himself and hit the baseball. Or if they had a bigger yard, this would never have happened. So there's a lot of...
I don't know where they live if the houses are that close like that. Like, that's spooky.
Spooky.
Well, I guess, that's about closest the houses are in my neighborhood.
Spooky. Yeah, no, you can like fucking see in the next person's bedroom.
Kettle black.
You can see you can see a girl like dancing in the kitchen with a mop, being like, "I'm Amy dancing with the mop."
Yeah, that's my embarrassing part.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
so
ugh.
embarrassing.
God. Like, what is that weird song? It's like a Prince wannabe song, some like original jam.
Because they couldn't use
I
like
know.
a real song. It was like us. They like hired us to write the song. That's what it sounded like.
She got like weird dance moves, y'all.
I'm dancing with this mob. That's like basically how the song went.
I'm not like the best dancer in the world, but
Yes, you
yikes.
are. You were a professional. She was a professional dancer. Everyone.
Well, I mean, like, what do you call it? What's like regular dancing, not ballet dancing called? Freestyle? Hip hop?
You're great. You're a great dancer.
Aw,
She's
thanks,
a great
sweetie.
dancer. With that.
I try. But yes, so that's my answer to that question. Good one, not really, but good one.
Great question. How dare you?
I'll great question you. Next time, I don't have any more. My brain is fried, just like they fried the thinking couch.
Oh, they just shrunk it.
Yeah, I
Fried
love
the apple.
The thinking couch. I don't know. I think that's it. But I think really good film. Really enjoyed it. This rewatch, just like I remembered it. Nothing new or old. Really, it just felt really solid B+ 80s movie for me. Agreed.
Agreed. Comprende? Comprende. Yeah. So thanks for listening. Do us a favor. Leave us a review on iTunes, please. Follow us on Twitter at The Sweetie Club and like us on Facebook. And keep on listening and being awesome. We love you.
And I think, as it is now December, we might be covering a couple Christmas movies to tickle your pickle.
Sick.
I was trying to like think of a Christmas like themed, the tickle your mistletoe. Trim your tree. Is that too sexual?
That was too sexual, but the first one, tickle
quack.
your pickle, was it?
Quack. All right. Yeah, so we'll be covering some Christmas movies hopefully in the coming days and weeks. So stay tuned. Thanks for listening. Bye.